When it comes to armor in Monster Hunter, defenses and resistances are nice, but what you really want are the armor skills. This guide series is going to focus on a progression path you can easily follow for a reasonable build to get you through low rank and high rank. In low rank, progression is fairly linear and there isn't a lot of need to deviate. High rank is much more open-ended and will have many more options for you to explore. High rank builds will focus on decorationless and charmless setups, as those require rare materials and a lot of luck for decorations. You will need to make a choice between alpha and beta gear. Alpha gear has more skills, but sometimes has skills that aren't particularly useful on them. The beta versions usually give up skills for decoration slots. If you don't have decorations, the alpha sets are always better. If you have powerful decorations, the beta pieces are usually the better option, as it will allow for further customization. These builds are reasonably effective and will be sufficient for getting you through the game. You may have skills that you favor on certain weapon types that aren't listed, and you should experiment to learn your playstyle. Your default armor is terrible, and you'll want to upgrade it right away. The easiest thing you can do is just build the entire bone set. This will be mostly beneficial for the headpiece's health boost, granting you plus 15 maximum HP, and the bone chest's attack up, granting you plus 3 attack power. The remaining bone pieces will benefit certain weapon types and not others. The gloves will give Slugger, which is good for blunt weapons like hammer, hunting horn, and file attacks from the charge blade and switch axe. Bone Coil is only good for hunting horn, but it will extend the length of your songs. The Bone Greaves grant Entomologist, which helps prevent you from destroying Vespoids and Hornitars so you can carve them. Regardless of the skills it offers, this set is extremely easy to build and represents a good armor value spike that you should take starting out. Early on, you'll be given an assignment to hunt Kestodons. After carving some, you'll unlock the ability to build Kestodon gloves. Build these for affinity sliding, which gives you a temporary boost to your critical hit rate after sliding for a short period of time. They also have a strong defense boost over bone gauntlets and should be picked up for most weapon types. This set will be enough to tide you over until you hunt Great Jaguars. Afterwards, you'll want to look into picking up the Jaguars Coil. This provides Fortify, which gives you an attack and defense bonus if your HP reaches 0 and you're carted back to camp. Fortify is a nice bonus for new players, and even veteran players will cart occasionally. It's a good pickup for all weapon types. Then you'll have to hunt Kulu Yaku. You'll want to build both its Kulu male chest armor and the Kulu Greaves leg armor. The chest grants Stamina Surge, which increases your stamina recovery rate. This is a great skill for every weapon type, but certain weapons will benefit much more from it. The Kulu Greaves grant Critical Eye, which increases your affinity or critical hit rate by 3%. This isn't huge, but going from 0 to 3% affinity will actually allow you to perform critical hits, and it will be a significant damage increase. This will be an acceptable set of baseline armor for the next mandatory fights. From here on, though, things will be handled on a weapon-by-weapon basis. There are a few styles of lancing. There's guard and evade lancing. This guide will focus more on the guard style, but will incorporate some evade lance equipment since there isn't much better for a long time. The base armor set will have to tide you over to take on Pookie Pookie and Baroth. Baroth's head grants guard. This should be considered a mandatory pickup. Guard reduces the stamina consumed while guarding, as well as reduces the knockback suffered when hit. It's going to be the bread and butter for this guide. Hunt Juratotus, followed by Toby Kadachi. You will definitely want to build the Kadachi Van Braces for Evade Extender. This will help you reposition faster and easier. If you're using Toby Kadachi's Lance, consider picking up its waist armor for extra thunder damage. This will be more consistent than the Jaguars Coil's Fortify and be a reasonable defense increase. Anjanath is next. Unfortunately, he has no reasonable options for us. Once you're in the Coral Highlands, you'll have to hunt Paolumu, but you should deviate and hunt Zetsi-Yaku. The Zetsi male grants Constitution, reducing your stamina drain while guarding and dodging, as well as giving a reasonable defense increase. Then hunt Paolumu as part of the story. You can switch your helmet for Paolumu's hat to trade Constitution or Guard for Stamina Surge. Both will have similar performance, but the Lumu hat will have better defenses. Now you'll head down to the Rotten Vale. You'll want to hunt Hornitars. Build the Greaves for Handicraft, which increases your weapon's sharpness. You should pick these up. There just isn't much better at this point in the game. Then hunt Rataban. It has some decent offerings for us. You can pick up the Bond Coil for Guard. This will give you a second stack of Guard if you're combining it with the Baroth Helm, or let you maintain Guard while using the Kadachi Helm or Lumu hat. Then head back up to the Coral Highlands and hunt Legiana, and afterwards you'll have access to Monster Bone Plus and can build the Death Stench gear. You should pick up the Death Stench Heal for Handicraft, and they will be a good defense upgrade over Hornitar Greaves. Next is Odogaron. Pick up its Vambraces for Constitution before moving on to hunt Rathalos and Diablos. You're so close to high rank here that you may want to avoid farming and just move on. Of course, this is an idealized armor guide. Rathalos has good gear. Pick up Rathalos' helmet for attack up. Then build a chest for weakness exploit, giving you a massive affinity bonus while attacking weak points. If you want, you can upgrade your gloves or boots to Rathalos gear to pick up the 3-piece set bonus of critical element, but you will lose some valuable skills for marginal returns. Build these pieces if you want, but it's time to move on to high rank. High rank finally introduces us to some options. There's a lot of upgrades available now, and you can immediately go and hunt high rank versions of everything in low rank. The easy answer is that anything that worked for you in low rank will work here while providing additional skills and high rank defenses. This guide assumes you have no useful decorations. As such, the beta gear is simply worse than the alpha gear as it loses skills for decoration slots. If you have decorations, consider the beta versions of some pieces, otherwise stick with alpha. The same goes for charms, and this armor guide is charmless. Go ahead and pick up whatever charms you see fit, like attack, handicraft, or even things like guard and evade extender are all viable charm options here. The Kulu headpiece alpha should be picked up immediately for a second stack of weakness exploit. You will lose critical element, but gaining the extra affinity will be worth it over the Rathalos head's attack power. You can also optionally choose to pick up the Baroth helm alpha for guard. Weakness exploit will give you significantly more damage on monsters, but guard could be a reasonable pickup if you're struggling. Next, you want to take on Tobi-Kadachi. Tobi-Kadachi's gloves grant 2 stacks of evade extender, which will help a lot with repositioning. You can also pick up the Kadachi Greaves alpha for constitution and thunder resistance, or if you prefer, hunt Hornetars to maintain handicraft. If you're still using the Bond Coil, you can go hunt Radaban to upgrade to the Bond Coil alpha, which will give you 2 stacks of guard. You can also pick up the Bond Vambraces alpha for guard, but you'll lose the very valuable evade extender in favor of sleep attack, which chances are you won't be utilizing at all. This set should make you adequately prepared to take on the higher tier monsters of high rank. Odogaron's set is a reasonable choice here. It provides a lot of critical eye, speed sharpening, and the 4-piece bonus is protective polish. Protective polish prevents your weapon from losing sharpness for 60 seconds after sharpening. It's a great skill, but you do give up a lot to get it. You won't really need the 2-piece set bonus of punishing draw, since ideally you'll never sheath your lance. The Odogaron Vambraces give Constitution and Critical Eye. This is potentially worth losing the level 2 evade extender from Kadachi gloves. That's your judgment call. I think Lance really needs evade extender. The next big sets are the Rathalos set and Arrogance set. The 2-piece set on Rathalos is Critical Element, which will represent a reasonable damage upgrade for elemental lances of all types. This set is not easy to build, and the ideal setup requires multiple gems, but it will be a great set for the remainder of the game. Pick up the Wrath Helm Beta for attack level 2. You will be trading guard level 2 or weakness exploit for attack, but it's your call. Definitely upgrade your low rank Rathalos chest to the Rathalos Male Beta to get high rank defenses as well as beefed up weakness exploit. The chest and head are the main upgrades here because we're going to tie the rest of this set together with Arrogance pieces. Once you have access to the Elder's Recess, you can upgrade further by hunting Arrogance. The 3-piece set bonus is Guard Up, which will let you guard previously unblockable attacks such as Teostra Supernova, but make sure you're a good distance. If you don't block the attack head on, you're gonna have a bad time. You can maintain your Rathalos set bonuses and pick up the Arrogance Vambraces alpha for guard and defense boost, the Coil beta for part breaker and a level 1 and level 2 decoration slot, and finally the Arrogance Greaves alpha for 2 stacks of guard and a level 1 decoration slot. This set will be adequate for everything else in the game. Everything after this is just a matter of customization and preference once you get access to better charms and decorations. Unfortunately, if you desire guard and guard up, you'll be stuck for a long time with the Arrogance set. Level 3 guard is usually a fair compromise, and the charm is easy to make, only requiring Radaban materials which are easy to farm. The final upgrade does require a Val Hazak gem, but that can be obtained with a bit of effort. You actually can get a guard up decoration, but that could take a very long time. Once you do, however, it frees up your armor set for a lot of quality of life and damage skills. The Elder Dragon sets are usually safe bets, but won't necessarily be better or worse than this, just different. Nergigante's set is a great general purpose set. It has maximum might, which gives you a 30% affinity increase while at maximum stamina. This is a reasonable pickup on Lance, but you won't be able to utilize it for a short time after guarding or dodging. It is a very consistent affinity increase on all monster parts, not just their weak points. It also has Agitator, which has a very high uptime of increased attack and affinity. Then it has attack and stamina surge to round it out. It's a good general purpose set that's quite easy to build. Nergigante's Dragon King Eyepatch has weakness exploit level 2 and a tier 3 decoration slot, making it a great pickup. Kushala Dower's gear has a lot of handicraft and some good evasion skills. The Kushala Cruise Alpha grants evade extender and handicraft, then the Kushala Grips grant evade window and handicraft. These are nice pickups, especially in conjunction with guarding decorations or charms to give you a great general purpose hunting set. Valhazog's gear isn't the best, but the materials can be used to craft the Death Stench gear. Assuming you can find a guard up decoration, your endgame set may look something like this. Just incorporate as much handicraft, attack, weakness exploit, and critical boost as possible while maxing out evade extender and getting guard as high as possible.